really are a family.
Tennessee 10-4 this season. The Hatters of Stetson 7-12. Orsini twirls home the first pitch, and we are underway. A little bit early, 11-16 for a game that was slated for an 11:30 start. It is Addison Foster in the box. 1 ball and no strikes to Foster, the freshman from Lockport, Illinois.
Foster showed bunt on the first pitch. She's swinging away on the second. Foster is their table setter. When she gets on base, they produce runs. She's leading the team with stolen bases, 13 for 14. Really good speed. Tennessee's going to have to be quick on the corners, keep her off the base path.
Ahead in the count, 2-0, and she bounces it up the middle. Fall charging in, takes care of it. The true freshman defensive stud, Bella Fall, records the first out of the afternoon, and it is a defensive 9 that is the exact same except for the starting pitching role in this matchup from yesterday. Kiki Malloy out patrolling center field, flanked by Weston Panel, Gibson, Fall, Rodriguez, and Katsoyanopoulos around the horn, with the Oklahoma transfer Sophia Nugent catching Charlie Orsini, who misses low to Madeline Sinaraki. Another freshman at the top of the order, only 2 in the lineup for the Hatters, and they bat 1-2. Sinaraki could not hold up there, even at a ball and a strike. Pretty off speed, 1-2. Charlie Orsini got the starting nod against Brown yesterday in the nightcap. Went 2 2/3. Gave up 1 run, a couple of hits, no walks, and 2 punch-outs for the sophomore from Australia.
Orsini's doing a nice job of changing speeds, working a drop ball, expanding that plate, trying to get the hitters to chase.
And her 2-strike pitch on the way in. No chase there. Full for the first time today. Strike 3, swinging. Throw down to first, and that is the first strikeout of the outing for Charlie Orsini.
Nice job by Nugent there. Dropped third strike ball in the dirt on the changeup. Hitter did not try to run it out. Threw her out number 2.
2 up, 2 down for Orsini in the circle. Base is empty for Cammie Epley as the junior takes a strike in the outer half.
Yesterday, Cammie showed bunt and hit, slap and hit. Today, she's starting off slapping it. Let's see what she does in the second pitch of the at-bat.
Takes outside, 1-1. Yeah, Epley, the best bat so far early this season for Stetson, hitting .340. And has started each and every game for the Hatters. One of just 2 to start the first 20 contests this season. Lifted to left, West is there, and the side retired in order in the first. 3 up, 3 down, and Charlie Orsini cruises through her, led by the All-American Kiki Malloy at the top. Marion ready and home with her first pitch. Ball 1 to Malloy. 5th-year graduate student from Washington, and boy, has she made her mark in Knoxville, Tennessee. Hitting .333, 4 home runs early in this final campaign, including one against Stetson yesterday.
When you look at the setup of Tennessee's offense compared to Stetson's offense, Stetson has those 3 table setters up top, the 3 lefties that can kind of be triple threats, get on base, steal bases, move them around. Tennessee has power after power. Once you're done with one hitter, here comes the next one.
Yeah, Marion falls behind 3 balls and no strikes to Malloy at the top. Marion, ASUN All-Freshman a year ago. She's the ASUN Pitcher of the Week. Went all 9 innings in a tight battle last weekend against the Maryland Terrapins. And she loses Malloy on first pitch. It's actually the same way yesterday's game against Stetson started. 3 balls and an HBP.
The challenge of pitching to a lineup like Tennessee is that as the pitcher, you're trying to not give them too meaty of pitches. You want to make sure that your pitches are breaking, they're at a good height, good good expansion off the plate, but you're also not trying to give up too many free passes because typically when a walk gets on, it results in a run.
Yeah, Kiki Malloy is the SEC's all-time, the active stolen base leader. Don't be surprised to see her take off as Riley West climbs in for Tennessee. First pitch, Malloy stays put, called strike.
Stetson's defense is definitely respecting West's power here. Both corners are back. They're not playing tight for the bunts. Tennessee has 0 sacrifice hits on the year. They're expecting hard shot and trying to turn a double play here.
1-1 offer to West. Malloy on the move, throw to second, not in time, and Kiki Malloy swipes another 10th stolen base of the season.
The throw missed just short here. Kiki slides in face first. Great job. Gets up ready to go. Second baseman there for the backup.
First runner in scoring position and a 2-1 pitch on the way to Riley West. 3 balls and a strike. Green light count as the catcher Freeman now to talk things over with her battery mate. We'll have a bigger conversation in the circle. Marion did not pitch against Tennessee yesterday. Seen the Lady Vols here for the first time and already fallen behind a little bit early.
Marion is no stranger to a tough offense. They've played some really good teams this year. They played Washington, Oklahoma State. Coach Cousins definitely does not shy away from scheduling tough opponents. She's been here before. She knows how to compete. She just needs to get in her rhythm.
That was Marion had a really great game in the circle against those 4th-ranked Washington Huskies. Went 7 innings, gave up just 2 runs, no walks, 7 punch-outs in 115 pitches. Laboring a little out of the gates against Tennessee. 3 balls and a strike to Riley West in the 2 spot. Shows bunt, drops it down. Marion fields and fires to a covering Morgan. And a 3-1 sack bunt. I didn't think I'd ever see it, Boo, but it moves Malloy to third.
Write that down. March 3rd, sacrifice hit executed.
Not typically the MO of this Tennessee offense, but it does get the job done. 1 out with the first run 60 feet away for McKenna Gibson. Standing tall on the right side as she takes ball 1 upstairs. Gibson, after a breakout sophomore season where she was a 2nd-team All-American, 1st-team All-Region, and All-SEC, is the co-team leader with 60 runs batted in on the way to Oklahoma City, is back at it. Strong start to her junior year.
And we're seeing a bit of a different setup in the outfield today from Stetson. Playing a little bit tighter yesterday. Tennessee had several balls that went through the 5-6 hole between the shortstop and third base. The outfield's a little tighter today, ready to throw the ball in and make sure they don't give up a double to an infield, a ball that goes through the infield.
Hitters count. Gibson takes a strike at the knees. One of many Californians on this roster, McKenna Gibson, as the speedy Malloy patiently waits at third. Marion trying to pick up the second out after issuing a lead-off walk. Spins and fires her 2-2.
Tries to get her up the rise ball. Gibson does a nice job of fouling that off.
Gibson had a little bit of a slower start the first few weekends of the season, according to Karen Weekly, given those prolific power numbers from last season. Still hitting a clean .333, knocked her second home run of the season yesterday against Brown. Opposite field homer that started the scoring. Battling here. Another 2-2 pitch. Just inside. On the payoff, Gibson takes ball 4 on the corners for Tennessee with 1 out. What are you seeing early from Marion?
She's not missing by much. You know, she's not pitching bad. She just needs to get her rhythm. She's not consistent with her pre-pitch. She's not consistent with her timing. Just trying to be too perfect. You're facing a good offense. Hits are going to happen. Umpire may or may not like some of the pitches you throw. Just bounce back and throw your game. We'll see what they do here on a first and third. Lots of speed on third base. Infield's playing tight. If Pooney can just put the ball up the middle, they're not going to be able to take a deep angle. They may decide to go for a double play here if there's a grounder up the middle instead of trying to get Malloy at home.
Amanda Allen in to pinch run over at first. So on the corners for Zeta Pooney. And down to the cleanup spot. Pooney swings and misses. Allen will take second base free, 2 in scoring position.
Swing through steal. That's a planned play. They're doing that just to cover for the runner, and now they'll let Pooney hit.
That ever make a hitter angry? You're gonna tell me to fake wave at one?
Nah, Pooney's a good enough hitter. She could swing and miss twice in a row and still get a hit.
Takes a strike. Zeta Pooney moved up to the cleanup spot for a second consecutive game. Homer yesterday against Stetson. That was the game ender. Walk-off 3-run blast in the 5th. So Pooney now getting back to full speed at off-season shoulder surgery as she grounds it to short. Foster checks the runner, fires to first. Malloy home and slides in safely. So an RBI for Zeta Pooney, and Tennessee's on the board.
Little hesitation there by Malloy coming home. I think she thought the shortstop was going to make a play on her. She decided to not angle down, waited for the throw, and then came home. Nice slide at home plate. But Stetson did a nice job of getting that ball turned around.
Pooney picks up the RBI, her 8th of the season. Was a little close for comfort, like you said there, Boo, for Malloy coming down the line. Results in a run. Allen does move up to third. As Destiny Rodriguez skies the first one to center, and it's tracked down by Cammie Epley. Nice read from Epley. We've played one in Knoxville. The Lady Vols on the board, leading 1-0. And she's back at home from DeLand. Went to DeLand High School, was a superstar there. Leading the Hatters on the road for the first time this year. Stetson, thanks to being in that Florida sunshine, had a huge homestand to open up the season. So this is the first true road weekend for Stetson. First time Tennessee is at home. Yvette Morgan in the heart of the order after a perfect first from Orsini as Morgan grounds it up the middle into center field. Base knock.
And this is how Stetson works. They get on base, expect a bunt here, might have a runner in motion with a hit and run, but this is how they produce runs. They produce runs by short game and tying them together.
Leadoff runner aboard for the catcher, Lath Freeman. Goes after the first pitch. That's a base hit. Back-to-back singles. The Hatters in business to begin the second.
Hitting is definitely contagious. These hitters are coming up there. They're aggressive. They're swinging at the first pitch, knowing that Orsini is not messing around. She's trying to put the ball in the zone. And as a hitter, that gives you confidence. You know you can attack early because the ball's going to be there.
So already doubling the hit total from yesterday against Carlin Pickens. 2 straight singles to begin the second. Stetson with a couple on, looking to strike back.
I would expect Baxter to bunt here. Baxter's hitting below 200. You got runners on first and second. Bunt them over and let the next hitter produce the run.
Does show bunt. Pop foul. Oh, it's caught. What a play by Sophia Nugent.
Great job of hanging on to that. And that is just so frustrating on the coaching side when the bunt gets popped up. Catcher had great reaction there. But, you know, when you're going to sacrifice that hit, you need to produce the runner to move. You need to get the runner to the next base. Now we still have runners on first and second and 1 down.
So a spinning first out. Like you said, still 2 on as Haley Fox takes a ball. Big time reaction. That was a ball that was corkscrewing in all sorts of directions for Sophia Nugent behind the plate. As Orsini calls time, she does like to work quick. Pitch clock is in effect. Pitcher has 20 seconds to throw the pitch. Hitter has to be alert and in the box with 10 seconds remaining. 1-1.
Fox is slapping the ball. We'll see if Orsini goes outside here and feeds the left side of the defense or if she tries to jam her.
Just the 7th start of the season for Fox, about half the game so far for Stetson. Late on it, 1-2. Orsini in search of strikeout number 2. Not gonna get it there, no chase.
This is the part of the order where Orsini just really needs to attack. 7, 8, 9. When you have a good 7, 8, 9 hitters and you can get them on base and let the leadoffs hit them in, you're gonna be successful.
Swing and a miss. Fox in front of the off speed. Second K for Charlie Orsini.
Orsini's changeup is just disgusting. She spins it, she gets it to drop, and that's what she does. That's her bread and butter. We're going to see more of that throughout the game.
And here she is on the brink of getting out of it after back-to-back singles. Had 2 runners on with nobody out to begin the second. A stellar play behind the plate and a strikeout. Annabella McLaren takes a first pitch strike.
Orsini has a great defense behind her. She's facing 3 hitters at the bottom of the order that are all hitting below 200. She just needs to hit her spots, get ground balls, let Tennessee work.
Quickly, 0-2. McLaren, the sophomore from Jacksonville, started 33 games last year, played in 46 for Stetson. Came in off the bench, hit sub 200, but a familiar face in the lineup. Skips away from Nugent. Everyone up 60 feet, 2 in scoring position.
You're seeing Orsini work that changeup quite a bit today. Stetson is just not going to be overpowered with the velocity. So you're going to see that changeup more because they've played some good teams that have pitchers with high velo. This is not going to be intimidating to them.
One-two pitch. Spoiled by McLaren. Hatters base hit away from tying the game, perhaps taking the lead against number 8 Tennessee. Orsini trying to get out of it. 1-2.
You're seeing McLaren doing whatever she can to just get a piece of it, trying to keep this at bat alive, trying to extend it, allowing her teammates to see more pitches from Orsini.
One more time, 1-2 pitch. Good take, and McLaren runs it full.
Orsini has to love that Nugent is back there doing everything she can to try to block the ball. Nothing gives you more confidence as a pitcher than knowing that you can throw your best pitch, your changeup, in the dirt, runner on third. Your catcher's going to take care of it.
The battle continues. Ninth pitch of the duel. Why not a 10th?
She is just absolutely hooking that ball right now. And she just doesn't know what to expect. Orsini's changeup is really on today. So, you know, she's trying to probably sit on the changeup, but then the velocity comes after. So as a hitter, you really just have to pick the speed that you're going to go after. Right now, it seems as if McLaren is just trying to find the ball and hit it. She needs to pick one speed. Either hit the changeup or hit the fast.
What do you bring if you're Orsini?
I'm going changeup.
Another payoff. Boy, Annabella McLaren really making Charlie Orsini work. About to see an 11th pitch here in this plate appearance. With 2 runners in scoring position.
Definitely a quality at bat, fouling off pitches here.
Into right, Panel chasing after it and catches it at the shoulders. Oh, a big-time battle there for out number 3, and Charlie Orsini works around the jam to keep Stetson off. Coming from Oklahoma, has Women's College World Series experience and really fortifies a team that was already really deep to begin with.
Nugent is a great leader behind the plate. That's why she's out there on defense. She knows how to calm the pitcher. She knows how to command the defense. She's definitely a drill sergeant behind the plate. And up to bat here, you're going to see her take some big hacks. She's very aggressive. She's very confident in her swing, and she does not get cheated.
270 hitter to this point in the season as Hannah Marion goes back to work for Stetson. Big swing, sky to right. Sinaraki underneath it. 1 out. Base is clear for Taylor Panel. Sophomore season for Panel, first one in full health. Had season-ending shoulder surgery 2 weekends into the year last season, and said now gets to show off some of that ferocity Karen Winkley and company saw when she came in last fall to Knoxville. A powerful speedster. Fifth pitch of the outing on the way home. Out of the right arm of Hannah Marion. And slice to right, falling fast, and Araki snags it. Yeah, Marion bouncing back nicely here in the second inning.
Marion's doing a good job. Yesterday when Tennessee was successful, something that their hitters did a good job in adjusting is letting the ball travel deep and then going oppo. And you saw a panel trying to let that ball travel, and you see her go oppo. And you're going to see G try to do the same thing here.
So 2 down for Julia Katsoyanopoulos. Shows bunt, takes a ball. Katsoyanopoulos, the second-year transfer from Arizona. Super high softball IQ, according to Karen Weekly. Primary catcher last season, now will be mainly at first base and fresh when she is behind the dish. And spent a lot of time in the cage with Coach Chris Malvo, working on that aggressive offensive approach. And the count even at 1-1.
You get excited when you see a player that has a high game IQ. That's the big difference between high school and travel ball and going to college. Everyone's good in college. Everyone was the best player on their team. The difference is the IQ and the work ethic.
Ball and 2 strikes. Marion has been the most consistent arm early in the season for Stetson in the circle. 2-1 last week. A Stetson team that's been streaky. They started the season 0-6, but then ripped off a couple of wins. Had a nice homestand there in the middle, winning 4 in a row. You've touched on it, Boo. They've tested themselves. This is the 3rd top 10 team they're facing. That is foul. One-two coming. Grounded to third. One hop to Napoli. Fires it across on the side. Retired in order. Really nice second inning in.
Some of these jams to fight back early in the preseason. It's going to give her the confidence she needs to face those top teams in the SEC later this season.
She will be in the running for a number of innings. A Tennessee staff that lost the National Pitcher of the Year in Ashley Rogers. Turned pro, is heading to med school, staying busy. They return Peyton Gottschall and Carlin Pickens, and then Orsini, along with Riley White, who's out this weekend, will anchor the rest of that Tennessee rotation as the Lady Vols search for back-to-back SEC titles. 9-1-2 in the Stetson order. Gia Napoli, the sophomore, kicking it off. And the 0-1 pitch to her. Up and out, 1-1. Weak contact to first. Foot races on. Rodriguez can't handle the flip, and Napoli is aboard to begin the 3rd.
It wasn't pretty, but it worked. Little check swing, miss hit. Used her speed. This is a tough play for the second baseman. She's not typically going to cover first base when a hitter is swinging away, and the hitter was swinging away on that one. But with the check swing, the first baseman had to move in, so she had to adjust her coverage.
So the infield single, 3rd hit of the contest for Stetson, back to the top of the order as Foster takes strike 1. 0 for 1, a ground out to short the first time.
Coach Cousins checking the defense. She's noticing second base is covering the steal. We've got to slap her up, who usually is going to go oppo with her hit. She might put a runner in motion here.
Napoli 5 of 6 stealing bases, over at first. There she is. Ball on the ground at 3rd. Gibson's only play is to first. Napoli fell asleep on the base pass, and now she's in trouble. Whole lot of action. Panel with the ball, and she puts on the tag. 2 down.
Seems to have been a mishap by the runner, by the runner. I think she thought the ball was in the air. She paused there as if the third baseman had caught the ball. That's what Coach Cousins is getting upset over. You see her freeze, thinking she needs to go back. She's going to get in a double play, and now she's out. Nice job on the run down there by Tennessee. Efficient. And a rally quickly dead end.
Yeah, everything erased. Base is empty, quickly 2 down. Sinaraki with a bounce to 3rd, and just like that, The inning is over. How quick. Well, it ends up being a really efficient top of the third for Charlie Orsini. This is a Tennessee program that checked off a lot of firsts, and they already had such a storied history, Boo. But for the first time ever, they were regular season champs, tournament champs in the SEC, over 50 wins. And then you got to talk about the long ball. Kiki Malloy, 25 dingers last season, and she's now the all-time leader.
And she's coming up this inning. You'll see Tennessee take advantage of that mishap last inning. Score some runs here probably.
Bella Fall in the 9th spot takes a strike, 0-1. The true freshman shortstop from Sugar Hill, Georgia, just outside Atlanta. Stands in against Hannah Marion. Back to work after pitching a perfect second. Ball and a strike. Fall. Really the first player that Karen Weekly ever recruited solely for defensive prowess. Obviously the offensive numbers could come. She's in the 9th spot as the true freshman, but the glove is that good that it's worked her into the lineup for the top 10 Lady Vols right from the jump.
She plays like a veteran shortstop. She's got great footwork. She chooses good hops, good angles, can throw from multiple arm slots. She's really fun to watch out there.
Ahead 2 balls and a strike, the sophomore Marion. After being a member of the ASUN all-freshman team last season, coming off a terrific campaign, good start to this season. So far has kept this offense in check. Off the knob, 2-2.
Tries to go inside, looked like trying to throw a screwball, kind of turned into a little bit of a scrizer, which is kind of an unclean rise ball, screwball and rise ball spin combo. Right off the elbow.
Scrizer, I like that.
It's not what you want to be throwing. You really want to throw a rise ball or a screwball, but some pitchers just have natural spin that breaks a certain way, and most pitching coaches are going to use that spin and create the pitches that are going to be most efficient for them to throw.
Into the seats, which are beginning to fill up. Early matinee here at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. First of 2 games today for Tennessee. They'll play again in the final game of the day against Longwood. Stetson in the second game of its Sunday doubleheader in Knoxville. Already a winner today against the Brown Bears. Full count.
And I'd like to see Fall start to approach these at-bats with the confidence that you see at shortstop. At shortstop, she has a lot of swag, and not that she doesn't have swag up to the plate, but, you know, you're a freshman, you're playing on the returning SEC champion team that went to the World Series. You are a stud. Own it.
Standing in tall, awaiting the payoff pitch. Ground ball to third, 2 hops to Napoli, 1 out. Six straight Lady Vols retired by Marion in the circle. Bat turns back to the top of the order, and the ever-dangerous Kiki Malloy got on and came in. She scored the lone run of the game so far. And takes ball 1.
This is where you're going to see Marion start to kind of have to reinvent herself. This is their second time through the order. They've seen her pitches. They know what to expect. Now she's going to have to work some different quadrants, continue to hit her spots.
Two balls and no strikes. Malloy got on in 4 pitches. And then there were 3 early balls to Riley West, as Marion had a little trouble early against the top of this potent order. See what she dials up with the 2-0 offer.
Hitters like Kiki Malloy typically have the green light on a 3-0. Pitcher's just trying to throw a strike, not give a free pass. Don't be surprised if Malloy opens up on one here.
Malloy takes ball 4, on for the second time today. Meeting of the minds. Freeman and Marion in the circle for Stetson. Malloy already with some speed, stole the bag earlier, moved over on a sack later, came in to score.
Malloy is definitely always a steal threat. As a pitcher, that's not a bad walk when you walk Malloy, because every time she's up, she has the chance to put it out of the park. But unfortunately now, there's a lot of hitters that are good behind her, and you have speed on base.
Brings up Riley West in search for first hit of the weekend. Sacrifice bunt her last time up. And despite being hitless in 2 games this weekend, still hitting .395 this season. There goes Malloy. Throw to second is not in time.
It's a great slide. Snuck that left hand in, went in face first. Not a lot of surface area for the shortstop to tag. We're probably going to have a video replay here. Yep, video replay asked for by Coach Cousins. The throw definitely beat her, but looks as if that tag got in there. Shortstop just missed her. When you're putting that tag on as a shortstop, you really got to hug the base with your glove. That hand can sneak in there. It's so small.
Well, here we go. I think the call should stand based on the looks our wonderful crew was able to provide. And that is the call. It is upheld. Stolen base for Kiki Malloy, her second of the outing, and she's in scoring position.
That was a good call by Coach Cousins, though, asking for the replay. They get 2 replays allowed before the 6th inning, and then it's at the umpire's discretion. With a runner going into scoring position, especially with Malloy's speed in the top of the order up, that was a great decision to try to review that.
Back to action after the hiatus. 1 ball, no strikes on Riley West. Jam shot foul, 1-1. West, one of a bunch of California kids on this roster, and Boo, she knew she was going to be a Lady Vol for a long time, now in her senior season. And when she was a freshman out at Eleanor Roosevelt High, she committed to Karen Weekly. So basically 7 years of donning the orange and white for Riley West.
When Tennessee comes knocking, you are most likely going to say yes.
1-2 pitch, opposite field. Extra bases on the way. One hops the wall. Malloy cruising to the plate. An RBI double for Riley West. Makes it a 2-0 Tennessee lead.
And there is that song that is so just in your head when you're a pitcher. Rocky Top going off every time that Tennessee scores a run. It's a tough place to play here. A lot of fans, a lot of excitement. And this outfield plays deep too.
Yeah.
You know, center field gap there. It's 220 up center, but that's a long 220 when you're an outfielder trying to cover that ground on a ball in the gap.
Goes down as the first hit of the weekend for West as she picks up her 4th double of the season. Tied to the team high and puts herself into scoring position. Or McKenna Gibson in the 3 spot. Gibson walked her first time up. You might hear the Lady Vol Locos in the crowd starting the boo chants. No, they are not booing Gibson at the plate. She goes by Boo Gibson. That is a nickname that, you know, goes back to childhood. And she skies it to right, Sinaraki underneath it. And there are 2 out.
And it's a great nickname. Whether you're doing good or you're doing bad, they're always going to be cheering for you.
Because she looks like Boo from Monsters, Inc. Or maybe she was named after you.
She could only be so lucky.
Marion trying to minimize the damage here in the 3rd. 1 run home off the RBI double from West. She's on second with now 2 out for Zeta Pooney. Pooney goes after the first pitch, hanging in the air, center field. Epley at the track, runs it down.
She is working that drop step today.
She gets out of the already games this season against a couple of top 10 teams at Washington and Oklahoma State. Playing Tennessee here for the 2nd time this weekend. They'll play the Florida Gators in-state as well, so no shortage of tests for the Hatters as they try to make a run in the ASUN this year. Cami Epley begins the away fourth. 3, 4, and 5 in the Hatter order. Charlie Orsini back to work for Tennessee.
You talked about them having a lot of competition in the state of Florida, and I want to give a shout out to the state of Florida. We talked earlier about how a lot of the Tennessee roster is from California, and California is great at softball on the West Coast, but, you know, don't count out those Southeast kids. There's a lot of talent down there.
I see the smiles beaming at St. Thomas Aquinas right now down there in Fort Lauderdale. You know, no doubt about it. Sunshine State, always a hotbed for talent. One of those Florida kids, Epley, grounds out to first. Yvette Morgan in the cleanup spot. Fouls away the first. Second season now at Stetson for Morgan. Began her collegiate career down in Florida playing at Chipola, a powerhouse junior college program, and played really well down there. Had a little bit of the injury bug bite and then a shortened 2020 season due to the pandemic, but enough to get her to Stetson and work herself into a prominent spot in the cleanup spot in the order. She thought that one hit her, but home plate umpire Dave Reinecker.
The umpire's calling her back because she was in the strike zone. So yes, it did hit her, but they don't have to get out of the way of the ball, but they can't be in the strike zone. If you get hit in the strike zone, you get called back. You see that pitch just crossed the plate. He's saying, nope, not happening today.
Yeah, great call, partner. So Morgan back in the box.
So you get the bruise, but not the base.
Yeah, now in a 2-strike count. Not a fun place to get either. Run on the kneecap.
She is really hugging the plate, though, with that right foot. Open stance, but right on top of the line.
Out in front.
Nice grab over there on the backhand.
Yeah, foul ball. Boo Gibson covering some ground back over at third place. She played over at first last season. Pitch number 45 from Orsini.
The hitter thought she got hit there, so if you swing on a third strike and you get hit by the pitch, you're out. She thought it hit her, so she was heading back to the dugout. Umpire's calling a foul tip or a foul ball.
So a lot of steps in this AB for Morgan up and down the baseline. We'll see if she can put one in play, maybe work her way on. 3 hits for the Hatters, all singles, but so far nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. That is squibbed to second. Rodriguez on the second bounce, fires to first.
Rodriguez, super smooth. They're doing a great job on a spinny ball, staying down on it.
That sets the table for the grad transfer from Presbyterian, Latham Freeman. He takes a strike to the outside corner. Pretty pitch.
Orsini's doing a nice job of getting ahead of hitters. She's a hard pitcher to face because as a hitter, you want to attack early pitches, but when you have a pitcher that has such a great changeup and can spot that changeup for a first pitch strike, it makes it challenging to attack that first pitch if you're not a good changeup hitter. And again, going back to that pitch clock we talked about earlier, Orsini calls timeout. She still had 2 seconds left on the clock, but you'll see that there's 20 seconds on the pitch clock for her to deliver the pitch. It used to be 25. Tennessee has no problem staying within that clock, but her internal clock might feel like she's rushed.
Smooth final out to Rodriguez. 9 straight retired by Charlie Orsini. 4 clean in the books for the right hand.
Stetson definitely has a chance in this game. It's 2-0, but they're going to need to put some runs on the board here before Tennessee breaks it open.
It's been a good day in the circle for Hannah Marion. That lone hit and RBI double from Riley West. Only other traffic on the base path has been a few free passes. 5, 6, and 7. Destiny Rodriguez leads off the home 4th with a strike taken on the inside corner.
Marion's doing a really nice job. Good screwball for the opening pitch. Destiny's a hitter that tends to go to the right center field gap. Probably stay on her hands here with this pitch.
Takes it upstairs. Marion settling in nicely. Really just a couple walks to Kiki Malloy. Other than that, and the West double, not a whole lot of traffic. 1-1. Popped up high in the East Tennessee sky. Epley in from center to retire the first out. Sophia Nugent takes ball 1. 0 for 1. She flied out to right her first time up. The Oklahoma transfer getting settled here in Knoxville.
For young hitters watching, notice how every time that Sophia's in the box, she's driving that backside through. She's ready to attack. She takes the pitch, but if she was going to swing, she's on time. Every time trying to be on time, getting that heel plant down, ready to attack.
Yeah, they're very aggressive takes.
And very aggressive swings. When she swings, you feel it on the mound.
Not getting cheated. 1-1 here as Marion spins it in. Squibbed foul.
Marion doing a good job of keeping spin on the ball, really breaking it in on the Tennessee Volunteers' hands. Seeing a bit of a different approach from yesterday. Hobbs was spinning the ball off, trying to get them to chase off. Today, Marion is attacking their hands and just trying to get them to pop up, playing to her strengths.
So far, has played to them relatively well. A game that's trending pretty similarly to yesterday. Tennessee was leading 2-0 headed into the 5th and then erupted for 6 runs to end it early, but the Hatters were hanging around, and Marion absolutely doing her part here in the circle. Looking for her first strikeout of the outing. Not going to find it here, but perhaps out number 2. Foul ground, Napoli. 2 out. No traffic, 2 down for Taylor Panel.
And again, Marion trying to go inside as a screwball, rise ball pitcher. That's the risk you take. That's the gamble you take every at bat. You want to throw it on their hands. You want to try to get them to pop up. Sometimes it results in a pop up over the fence. Other times, if it goes as executed, you're getting a mishit pop up like we just saw with Nugent.
Panel, soft contact to left, falling fast and caught at the knees. McLaren racing in. Perfect 4th for Hannah Marion. Already through 4 innings. That's a season high, and she's looked really poised in the circle today.
And she's doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing. Feed the defense, feed the defense, feed the defense. Let them work. Don't do too much. Don't try to strike out everybody. The fans want to see some defense.
It is the 6, 7, and 8 spots for Stetson as Marissa Baxter takes strike one. It was Baxter who had that spinning foul out to Nugent behind the plate in the second. On the appeal, no swing, says Ed Clark.
I think Orsini's thinking, regardless of the swing, that was a pretty good pitch.
On the ground, Gibson at third. One out.
Orsini is just pounding the zone. Got her last time on a changeup. Let's see if she goes changeup early.
53 pitches so far for Charlie Orsini, 36 strikes from the Australian right-hander, make it 37 as Fox fishes and misses. Bounced up the middle, off the glove, and into the left center field. So Fox is aboard with the 4th Stetson hit of the ball game. One out base runner in the 5th.
Off the glove of Charlie here. Just a natural reaction to try to grab that ball. Probably should have let it go through, let the defense work. But when you're pitching, you know, you kind of get offset with wherever you finish your mechanics from the pitch previously.
One on, one out. McLaren goes after the first pitch and bounces it foul.
And McLaren back to fouling him off. She's a battler.
0 for 1, but that was an 11 pitch fly out to right field. Really made Charlie Orsini work back in the second inning. Nothing in 2. Fox does have 3 stolen bases on the year at first. This is a Stetson team that, like you said, Boo, does like to run. Get some traffic on the base paths. 0-2.
There she goes.
That was on the move there. We'll have to backpedal.
They like to run, and we're seeing Orsini here kind of drift outside of the pitching circle. When the pitcher goes out of the circle, the ball is still live. Runners can take extra bases. I'm sure Orsini trusts her defense to cover the bag, but as a runner, they have to be looking to see that. They can definitely take extra bases if they have the speed.
Hit sharply foul. Boy, McLaren is no cheap out. She is working in the box today. Really nice battle.
And Fox is getting her cardio over there. she's in motion on every pitch, trying to get to second, hoping they can get a ball in the gap and get to third.
Count still anchored at 0-2. That is, you guessed it, foul.
These quality at-bats are important, though, because it allows Stetson to see more pitches. Every time that you have an at-bat, you're helping educate the rest of your team on what the pitcher does, what her tendencies are, what does she throw in certain counts, what speed does she throw, how can you get on, how can you be on time with her. So definitely not a wasted at-bat.
That is hit well to left and deep. West on the way back, looking up, goodbye! 2-run blast for Annabella McLaren. And we are tied in the 5th.
She's just on time, gets underneath that ball. Outfield's playing shallow, gets it just over the fence. That's exciting for her.
Second home run of the season, and she is fired up.
Absolutely, home run against a team that goes to the World Series. I'd be fired up.
Bit of a strikeout machine early in her Tennessee career, but
You're going to see a little bit of a difference in the pitches that are being thrown here. Pickens has a bit more speed behind her. She's also got a very good changeup. She throws a drop, a rise. You're going to see her work at probably a quicker pace and just try to overpower these batters and then screw them into the ground with a changeup.
Reigning SEC Freshman of the Year, 2 balls and no strikes to count on Gia Napoli, who takes a strike at the letters, 2-1. So we are tied here at 2. Charlie Orsini went 4 1/3, but then it got ruled an E1 and put a runner on the base pass, bouncing ball off her glove, and then the home run from Annabella McLaren. McLaren's second of the season to tie the game at 2 in the 5th.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Stetson try to argue that E1 is a hit. Pitcher was in an awkward position from delivering the pitch. The ball went up the middle. I'm sure, shortstop would have fielded if it was hit to her, but they'll probably argue that.
Wave and a miss from Napoli. 1 for 1. She singled and then got caught in a rundown on the base paths back in the 3rd. So the count full. First batter Pickens faces, and it results in a strikeout. Backwards K for Carlin Pickens.
And that's her specialty. You see her coming in. Her job is to clean up the mess here. She is a pitcher that is high with punch-outs, lots of strikeouts per inning, and that's what she's doing. She's going to pound the zone. She doesn't even expand the zone there. She just throws it to her spot. Next batter, bring them up so I can get more outs and let my offense work.
Pickens leading this staff. That is her 50th punch-out of the season. It now just over 35 innings of work. Foul ball, top of the order. It is Addison Foster back at the plate.
I like that Pickens works a fastball in here in her mix of pitches. Not all pitchers can throw fastballs. In college, some of them have to throw, just movement pitches, but she has a great fastball, probably has some natural spin on it. She's got good velocity. She hits her spots, and Coach Weekly is not scared to let her use that.
Sharply fouled away, 1-2. It's a fastball that runs into the low 70s for Pickens. She's worked really hard on the changeup in the offseason, trying to keep batters off balance. A couple others mixed in there as well, looking to take that step up in the sophomore season after what was a stellar first year down in the orange and white. 1-2 on the way in. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. First knock of the contest for Foster. A 2-out single in the 5th.
You see the batter just drive the ball up the middle, but again, talking about how once the pitcher delivers the pitch, she's going to be in a certain position. It's out of reach. It's a good hit up the middle.
Stetson out hitting Tennessee now 5-1. Maybe a 6th in there, depending on if that error gets changed later. 1 on with 2 out for Sinaraki. He takes ball 1.
Got Foster on first base. She's their leading stealer. We'll see if Coach Cousins gives her the green light. They're trying to break this game open. They know that this is their opportunity. Score now while they have a runner on base. They've got the speed. They just need to move her around. And there she goes.
Throw to second, not in time. That is a stolen base. 14th of the year for Addison Foster. Another runner in scoring position.
Good throw, just too slow. Foster's got great speed. That's what she does. This is how they produce runs. Now they're starting to play Stetson softball.
On the appeal to third, Sinaraki held up. So the count moves to 2 balls into strike. Pickens grooves in a strike, 2-2.
And Sinaraki looking here to just get to contact. She doesn't need to hit a home run. She's got good speed with the runner on second. She's got good power and Epley behind her. She just needs to put the ball in play.
Doesn't climb the ladder there. The count goes full.
Coach Cousins is drifting up the line, getting herself in position to send the runner home on anything to the outfield.
Strike three,
Nice
looking.
pitch.
Boy, just painting the black there from Carlin Pickens, and she strands a runner in scoring position.
Pickens hits her spot, sits her down. So let's do it now.
So Tennessee will begin the home fifth with a pinch hitter. And the first time this weekend that Gabby Leach gets into the box score. Facing Hannah Marion, back to work for Stetson. Leach takes ball one upstairs. True freshman from the Woodlands, Texas. Twin sister of Alana Leach. And Gabby now getting into her 7th game. 1 for 4 at the plate, looking for her first home hit of her young collegiate career.
We gotta make a change. All right, we're doing it.
And they count 2 balls and no strikes. Marion nods in agreement with the sign. Here it is.
This is a good time for a pinch hitter. She's had 5 innings to see what the pitcher brings. Go up there with a fresh start, put the ball in play, get some runners on base.
Bounce to third. Napoli at the chest. 1 out.
Marion doing a really good job of what we said she needed to do prior to the game. Get ground balls, keep it in the park, let your defense work, hit your spots. She's throwing at a good pace, looking confident, holding her own out there. We got a ball game here today.
Sister Alana Leach here next for Tennessee, pinch hitting in place of Bella Fall. And Boo, we certainly do have a ball game. Hannah Marion has settled in quite nicely. Only 1 hit on the board. That was an RBI double. Leach has appeared in all 3 games this weekend. Got the start in the nightcap yesterday against Brown, the true freshman. Up the middle, into center field, base hit.
Leach doing Leach things. We talked about her yesterday, that she's a good hitter, good average, and she doesn't start all the time, but she's playing on a really talented team. In most other ball clubs, she'd be in the starting lineup. And there you see it. Good hitters can drive any pitch up the middle.
So a little extra juice there, and Shelly Cousins out to talk things over with Hannah Marion in the circle. Actually waved off to catcher Freeman, said, "I got this."
Cousins probably just checking in, saying, "Hey, you're doing good." Checking in, you got more juice, you got more things going on. Can you still finish this game? Can't see from here if the bullpen's warming up, but I'd leave her in too. I think it's a good decision. She's pitching a good ball game.
Motivating the ASUN pitcher of the week, Marion, who now face a potent top of the Tennessee order. Kiki Malloy with 1 on and 1 out in the 5th. Had walked and been hit by a pitch. She scored both of the Tennessee runs. Now she takes strike 1.
Come on, Kiki.
Malloy's a tough hitter to hit, to face as a leadoff. She's more of a 3-4 type of hitter as far as her power, but having her up to bat, she's going to get more at bats than most of the other people in the lineup, and you always have that opportunity for a home run.
It was a 5th inning home run yesterday against Stetson from Malloy that put a charge into the Lady Vol offense. And she's in a 2-strike hole.
Come on, Kiki.
Marion doing everything she can to not let Kiki extend on that ball. She's trying to avoid the ball in the gap. If Kiki's going to get on here, she's going to make her earn it on her hands.
70 pitches this afternoon. The 1-2 to Malloy. Fouled away.
As a pitcher, that's part of the challenge facing a hitter like Malloy. You come inside, you get a looking strike, you think you can live there a little bit, and then she yanks a ball like that. You can't stay in one zone too long. You got to keep her guessing. You got to keep exploring different parts of the plate.
Hit well, but foul.
Malloy just ahead of it here, pulling the ball to the left side, but she's also a good changeup hitter. We saw her yesterday sit on some changeups and hit them back up the middle. We'll see what they decide to go with here.
Waits on it, tugs it through the gap on the left side. Back-to-back hits for Tennessee, 2 on in the 5th.
Nice job by Malloy, staying back, putting the ball through the hole. Good idea on Stetson's part, putting a changeup in there, but didn't work this time. Not a terrible at bat though, as far as facing a great hitter. You kept the ball in the park. You didn't let her be the hero of the game.
And now Tennessee brewing a rally in the 5th. New game tied for the first time this weekend. 2 on, 1 out for Riley West, who already has an RBI double in this one.
Got a timeout here. This wouldn't be a bad time for a quick bunt from West. She's had a rough weekend as far as getting on base with her average, but she's a really good hitter. Her job right now is to get the ball inside, try to get a ground ball, get the third base to tag third and throw first, turn a double play, and get back in on offense. What we don't want to see here is letting West extend, hit the ball in the right center field gap, and put 2 on the board.
1-0 on the way. West shows bunt, pushes
Big bunt
through
steal.
it. Yeah, there go the runners.
Safe. She was in there. That was nicely executed by West. We have a fake bunt steal. She shows bunt, trying to fool the third baseman to pull up. So the shortstop has to cover the steal. You're seeing it on the replay again here. Fake bunt, she stays in the box, holds her ground. Catcher has to double step on her footwork. Lets the runner take 2 extra steps there as well. Nice slide.
So that puts 2 in the scoring position for Tennessee. As umpire and crew goes to take a peek at this. Call on the field was that everybody is safe. So Leach at third, Malloy up to second, and a 1-1 count.
And again, good idea to use that replay. Yeah. You only get 2 before the 6th inning. The umpire was behind the shortstop on his setup, and the slide was in front of the shortstop. So I do believe she was safe, but not a bad idea to use it. You see him behind there. Coach Cousins is thinking maybe he didn't have a good setup. Might have got her. I don't know, tagged on the chest though, not on the hand.
Yeah, another one where the slide could be the difference. Ball was there. Similar situation to the earlier replay where the ball beat Kiki Malloy, but her hand beat the tag. Leach hustling in.
And the same thing, we see the shortstop here reaching for the tag instead of dropping straight down by the bag. It's really important to tag right by the bag so you get them before they hit. She might have had her on that angle. But that's why we're up here and they're down there. Not our decision.
Call on the field was that everyone's safe, so it has to be clear cut. It could be a big call here late in this ball game. Tied at 2 in the 5th. The difference between an out at third and 2 down of the inning, or 2 in scoring position for Tennessee's leading RBI hitter. Here comes Dave Reinecker.
We've got an obstruction call here. They're saying that Foster obstructed the base for the runner before she had the ball. You can see her.
It's close. Maybe that left foot getting in just a little early.
That's what they get paid the big bucks for, those kind of decisions.
Yeah, so is upheld, and there are 2 runners in scoring position for Riley West. A dozen runs batted in this season that leads this Tennessee team. Prime opportunity to add some more. 1-1 pitch from Marion. Popped up. Baxter at first. 2 down. Oh, and now that call looks big. Inning could have been over. Really impressed with Marion's result today. Not backing down in the face of any adversity she's faced.
I like the confidence of all the Hatters today. They are playing to win. They are not scared. They are confident. They are very poised right now.
That's a good team. They won against UCF last year, went on the road to Georgia, won in Athens, and it looks like Marion may get out of the jam. Napoli gloves the 3rd out, and Hannah Marion strands 2 in scoring position. Field to first base. Gabby Leach, who pinch hit last inning, takes over out in right. As Carlin Pickens goes back to work. Came on in relief, had a couple of strikeouts sandwiched around a single. Now she closed the book on the 5th and will face the 3, 4, and 5 spots for Stetson here in the 6th.
When teams come to play top programs like Tennessee, this is kind of a World Series game for them. This is, this is the all or nothing. This is the big game of the year. And Tennessee has to be at their best every game because no one's going to back down. No one's going to just roll over and die. They're going to come to compete. And Tennessee is seeing that today in Stetson, and they've seen it all day.
No balls and a strike on Epley. 0 for 2. A fly out and a ground out in this one. Two balls and a strike. It's a Stetson team that went toe-to-toe against Washington. Lost a 1-run contest to the Huskies that turned around and put up 6 on a top 10 Oklahoma State squad. As that one is fouled away. Tennessee on the other side, 4 losses this season. 3 of those coming at the hands of ranked opponents, but there is an 11-2 defeat at the hands of Cal State Fullerton last weekend in California there in the mix as well.
Both teams are definitely battle-tested this season.
Yeah, they have delivered a wonderful game to kick off day 2 of the Tennessee Classic. Strike 3 swinging, 3rd in the circle for Pickens in relief.
Pickens doing what Pickens does, throwing that drop on the outside of the plate, fanning the batter.
So all 3 outs she's recorded have been a K. That matches the total she had in 5 innings of work against the Hatters yesterday.
And look at how calm she is on the mound. She's really fun to watch. She is just doing her thing out there. She's returning SEC Freshman of the Year, and she pitches like it.
Facing Yvette Morgan in the cleanup spot. 1 for 2, a single back in the 2nd inning. 1-0 pitch. Tapped foul. And Karen Weekly said she's really seen the growth and development in the mindset of Carlin Pickens. Growing up dominant in all facets of the game through her prep days at North Buncombe High. Had a really good start to the freshman season, but then got tagged a little bit late in the year playing some of those premier programs. And Weekly said Pickens didn't let it phase her. She actually leaned into it and said, okay, how's that going to make me better? I'm going to come out and dominate even more next year.
Well, and shout out to pitching coach Megan Rhodes Smith. All-American when she was here at Tennessee. She's got to be big on the mental game. To have a mentor like that to work with you every single day, you're going to get better. Pickens has a high ceiling, and Rhodes is tapping into that.
There is Megan Rhodes Smith, head down in the chart. Looking at the tablet, seeing what's coming next. 2
great pitching minds there. Coach Weekly used to do the pitching. Now Megan Rhodes Smith does it.
Yields another strikeout. 4 Ks in relief for Carlin Pickens.
You see her mixing her rise ball there. She is definitely not a one-pitch wonder. She works several different quadrants, a lot of drop ball, occasional changeup, and there you see the rise ball.
Two out and the base is clear for Lath Freeman.
Lath coming out hacking. Her first at bat was on the first pitch as well, trying to take advantage of the pitch being in the zone early in the count.
Tipped into the mitt quickly, 0-2.
Lath is on top of that plate, kind of a bold move, facing Pickens, who's got good speed. Hard to get your hands out on inside pitch when a pitcher has velocity like Pickens.
Pickens leads this Tennessee staff in strikeouts. Already has 4 in relief today, looking to fan the side in order. No chase from Freeman, 1-2.
Drop ball just missed. Good location for a 2-strike pitch.
One-two. Inside. Slow roller, Pickens, gloves, zips it to first and retires the side in order. 1-2-3, top of the 6th. We remain tied at 2 in Knoxville. So it's Zeta Pooney. Drove in a run with a ground out and also flied out.
Pooney is a really tough out. She's got potential to hit the home run on any pitch, but she also hits lasers back up the middle. And that's their goal. The Volunteers, when they work with Chris Malvo, his main message to them is not to hit home runs, not to hit big fly balls, but hit the ball on a line to the fence, hit it hard. Home runs are going to happen. You see that happen throughout their lineup, and you see it happen with Pooney.
One ball and 1 strike. Pooney last season, first team All-SEC, made the All-Tournament team in the Women's College World Series, and that was after banging up her labrum in the throwing shoulder in the second weekend of the season out in Puerto Vallarta. Played through it the whole year, had off-season shoulder surgery, so has been ramping back up to full speed. Had a hiccup early in January, but was back for Tennessee opening weekend. Just didn't have those reps of live ABs, and now in weekend number 3, starting to see that power come back to full display. The 1-2 pitch. Up the middle, snow cone grab. Marion does it herself.
Nice grab by Marion. As a pitcher, you're just fighting for your life out there. Ball comes at you, you don't want to get hit. Stick the glove up, catch it. Nice job.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes too? Come on now. Rodriguez takes ball 1.
Athletes and courageous, willing to stand 43 feet away from home plate with the ball
No
in their
kidding.
hand, going against someone that has a loaded bat and all kinds of video and scouts on you. Hats off to pitchers. Lots of bravery out there.
Two balls and no strikes. Marion and Hobbs, the two workhorses for this Stetson staff. Lauren Hobbs, the lefty, threw all 7 innings in the win over Brown earlier today. And Marion, working into the 6th, gets a big swing and a miss from Rodriguez.
And both of them, Hobbs and Marion, are both doing what they do. They're not overpowering. They're pitchers that spin the ball, that hit locations. They're doing that. You don't have to have monster velocity to be successful. You have to have good pitches, 3 pitches that you can mix in zones, one of them being a changeup, and trust your pitches and let your defense work.
Rodriguez skies to the left. This is carrying towards the scoreboard and off of it. Second home run of the weekend for Destiny Rodriguez, and she puts Tennessee in front, 3-2 in the 6th.
She just unloads on that inside pitch, does a good job clearing that front hip, getting underneath it, getting some lift, and just absolutely tanks that ball. We were just talking up here in the booth prior to that. You know, is it time to make a pitching change? Is it not? Hobbs is the other arm in Stetson's bullpen that they use a lot. She pitched a game earlier today. If you take Marion out too early, she's pitching a good game. If you take her out too early, you know, you look like an idiot as the coach because she was pitching a good game. But if you leave her in too long, then they hit a home run, and that happens too. It's just the gamble that you take.
Yeah, part of that tap dance, no doubt about it. Rodriguez, her team high, tied for the team high, 4th home run of the season after not hitting any dingers as a freshman last year. And she gives Tennessee the cushion.
But the difference today from yesterday is that Stetson's putting the ball in play, and they're getting hits. Yesterday they were hitting ground balls. They were hitting it, but they weren't getting actual hits. Today they're putting the ball in play. We still got a ball game. It's a close game. They're confident. They have time to come back.
Inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Nugent. And here comes Becca Taylor, first-year pitching coach at Stetson. Spent 5 years previously as an assistant at Northwest Florida. But has made the trek over to DeLand, part of Shelly Cousins' staff, and now checking in with her battery.
And no one likes to make that trip to the mound after a home run or a walk. As a pitcher, you're not trying to give up a bomb. You're not trying to give up a free pass. It just happens. It is very frustrating as a coach when they give up a home run or a walk, but it happens. So she's out there trying to calm her down, telling her, hey, you've pitched a great game so far. It's 1 hit. It's Tennessee. They hit home runs. That's what happens. So what? You're a good pitcher. Bounce back, recover from failure fast, and attack this hitter.
Line in progress there for Marion.
Marion still having good body language on the mound, still looks confident. She can bounce back.
Twirls in the 2-0 here to Nugent.
The pitching coach looks like a genius. She goes out there and then boom, pound the zone. That a girl.
Couple of fly ball outs today for Sophia Nugent, looking for her first hit of Sunday. And Lady Fall Luke goes. Lead into Tennessee faithful here on a Sunsplash day at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. Tennessee has just jumped back in front. Solo homer from Destiny Rodriguez to make it a 3-2 game in the 6th. As Nugent takes strike 2.
This is a big bat for Nugent here. You can either put the nail in the coffin and send Marion packing, or, you know, have the other end of the spectrum. It's important here for her to have a good at bat.
Marion's payoff is lined through the right side. 1 out single for Sophia Nugent.
Nugent taking advantage of that outside pitch, poking it through, letting the ball travel deep, and doing exactly what hitting coach Chris Malvo wants her to do, hitting the ball hard on the line.
And she'll be lifted for Laura Mueller, the pinch runner. Mueller, the transfer from Middle Tennessee State, has a ton of speed on the base paths.
Here comes the wheels. Probably going to see Mueller here steal, get a runner to second base in scoring position so that when the hitter hits the ball in the outfield, we can score from second base.
So Mueller on, 1 out for Taylor Panel. Runner goes, throw down is there, but the tag was not. Fourth stolen base of the season for Mueller in scoring position for Tennessee.
Mueller does a nice job of peeking in while she's running there. A lot of times you see base runners and they're looking at their feet as they're running. Your feet know what to do. They know where to go. You see her looking in, making sure the catcher has the ball so that if it's a pass ball, she can advance to third. Definitely heads up base running there. Another thing to notice here with the runner on second base, when she's leading off, she's not letting those hips turn towards home plate. She is ready to steal third base on any miscue by the catcher and ready to go from second to home on a ball in the gap. Watch those hips as she leads off.
1-1 coming into panel. Soft contact, falling fast, diving catch. McLaren with another nice play in left.
And that just fires you up as a pitcher. You gave up a home run, you gave up a hit, and then your outfielder comes in, makes a dive. You know she has your back.
That was the second one that Hannah McLaren has tracked down in left field.
And this is a great read by McLaren. Great decision to go glove first instead of feet first.
So back to Gabby Leach, her second trip to the plate off the bench as she takes strike one. Leach grounded out her first time up. Two balls and one strike. Mueller still in scoring position, now 2 out in the 6th. Tennessee is cracked in front thanks to the Rodriguez homer, but Marion trying to limit this 6th inning damage and give her bats a chance in the 7th.
Seems like Marion's getting a little bit tired out there. 94 pitches on the day, starting to miss a little bit on her screwball, has a little bit less lower body going into the pitch. Probably starting to feel it a little bit.
What do you lean on then in that situation when you're starting to get gassed?
Still got to go with your strength. You know, it's just more important to have that mental toughness. You've been here before. You've had tough bullpens at practice. You've trained all fall for this. You've put in the time in the weight room. You just got to trust your stuff and hit your spots.
3-1 pitch. Ground ball left side off of Foster. Everybody's safe on the corners.
And again, we talk about kind of the big difference of high school to travel ball, making that transition to college. You have to be able to bounce back from failure fast. As an athlete, you're going to make errors. You're going to have bad plays. People get paid millions of dollars to play in professional athletics, and they make mistakes too. As a college athlete, you got to be able to bounce back, be ready to field the next ball that comes to you, be ready to make the next pitch in the zone where you need it. Failure recovery is huge in college softball.
So it goes down as an E6, puts runners on the corners. And at the moment, Bella Fall looked like she was due up to the plate. Karen Weekly may alter things. That is Cameron Sarvis. And it looks like Sarvis will come up here to pinch hit in the 9 spot. Runners on the corners as the sophomore makes the trip to the plate.
And that'll do it for Fall. She's done for the day. She does not have a re-entry. This is the second time she's been pinch hit for this game. Probably see Sarvis finish out the game at shortstop.
Sarvis hitting .571 this season for Tennessee. Big bat off the bench. And she takes a pitch in the dirt.
We'll see what they run here on the first and third. Got good speed at first base. Stetson has not thrown out very many runners this year. They've had struggles today with shortstop putting the tag on. I imagine we're going to go for a straight steal here, try to draw the throw to second.
Staying put there was a strike to Sarvis. Freeman has been solid behind the plate, like you said, Boo. Sarvis, a role player last season for the Lady Vols, getting into more action here in her sophomore campaign. Big spot here on the corners. 2 out and a 2-strike count now. The ever-dangerous Kiki Malloy looming on deck. Hannah Marion trying to put a close to the 6th inning here. Her 100th pitch of the afternoon is strike 3, swinging.
Rise ball in, nice pitch.
First strikeout up to work the 7th. Trying to close the book on this one. A big homer from Destiny Rodriguez in the home 6th. Put the Lady Vols in front. And now the 6, 7, and 8 spots coming up for the Hatters as they try to keep this one going. Marissa Baxter, first up on the Stetson 7th. Baxter 0 for 2 today. Her first time facing Pickens today.
Fans not happy with that pitch call or the first one. Just a reminder, in college softball, the pitch has to clip the plate to be a strike. So while it might look good in the river, which is the distance between the white chalk and the plate, it's not a strike if it's in the river.
Foul away, 2-1. Yeah, we'll reset here.
Seems like Pickens wants a different pitch than what was called.
Hitting to right, Taylor into the game and finds the ball. Fresh into the contest, and she guards the first out.
I like the fact that Pickens is allowed to shake off a pitch if she doesn't want it. As a pitcher, you need to throw it with full confidence. I would rather a pitcher shake off a pitch, throw one that they're confident in, and execute it than throw a pitch that they're doubting and potentially give up a big hit because they're not throwing that pitch with confidence.
Brings up Haley Fox. Nothing at 1. Fox, the junior from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Become a regular in this Stetson order. 1 ball and 1 strike. No chase, 2-1. First time Pickens has fallen behind in this relief outing. toes the rubber and hums home a 3-1 offer. Outside ball 4. Tying run aboard for Stetson. Well, this tied us in the 5th. Annabella McLaren down the left field line with 2 strikes on her. And 1 swing of the bat made it a 2-2 game. She is riding up to the box now. McLaren's been a tough customer at the plate. 1 for 2. Just saw that 2-run homer. She had an 11-pitch flyout to right the prior at bat. Facing Pickens for the first time today. And with 1 swing could put the Hatters in front. Strike. Fox does have some speed. 3 stolen bases this season over at first.
You see him Pickens going in with a rise ball in there. Last time she took that drop down for a home run, trying to work some different quadrants here to see if they can get her out. And Pickens has been here before. She faces top hitters all the time. She's not fazed by home run hitters.
One pitch. Here's a strike, 2-2. It is the 8th all-time meeting between Stetson and Tennessee. The Hatters have never bested the Lady Vols. On the doorstep of time, this one in the 7th. Tying run aboard with 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Runner goes, swinging bunt back to Pickens, throws to first, and Stetson's down to its final out.
Great job changing speeds there. Fields the ball, does a nice look to the runner at first, realizes she can't get her at second, gets the sure out at 1.
Comes down to Gia Napoli. It looks like we're going to have another review here. Umpire initiated after the 6th. Take a look at the previous play. Okay. Not exactly sure what they're taking a look at here. Right now, a call in the field was an out at first. Runner advancing up to second. There's Napoli after the meeting with her head coach, waiting patiently for her chance to come up to the plate. So here was that last play, the ground ball coming up to Pickens.
Yeah, I think they're calling runner leaving early here. She was in motion before the release. In college softball, you can't leave until the ball is crossing the hip at release. The umpire's in place, but yeah, she's early.
That's new this year, leaving early, being able to look at and challenge and review, so we will.
And ironically, yesterday we talked to Coach Weekly about some of the new, the rules in effect for video review, and said, which ones do you think are going to be game changers? And she said, oh, runner leaving early is going to be a game changer. And there you see it. And she has a great view from their third base dugout where she's sitting. She is directly looking at the runner at first. She can see the pitcher's release point as well. That was a great call on Coach Weekly's part, or whoever on the Tennessee staff decided to call for it. For video replay, the coaches have to do it before the next pitch happens. So if a pitch happens and you don't call for replay, it's too late. So you got to be quick with it. Yesterday, we saw Coach Weekly signaling for the replay, and the pitch had already the umpires didn't see her. The pitch was in motion, and they hit the ball in the gap, and she got her replay. But it has to be quick thinking, and you know, you got to be a quick decision maker, and that's why she's the head coach.
So here we go. Yep, that's the call. Runner left early. And so Haley Fox is out on the base paths.
Coach Cousins not happy about it. You always want your runners to, you know, not to cheat, but to be a little bit ahead of the ball, but not the time to get called for leaving early. When you are the tying run on first base, it's the last inning, not a good time to be leaving early. Now we got to try to restart the rally here. She's trying to just tell that hitter, hey, it's with you. You can do this. Get us going again.
Yeah, so that pitch is waved off. That ground out does not count. It is McLaren back in the box for Stetson. And a 2-2 count. But Stetson now with 2 out and nobody on, down to its final strike. Two.
That's going to leave a mark.
McLaren works her way to first. Karen Weekly out. Maybe trying to see if it caught a piece of the knob of the bat.
I think she's also trying to argue that Annabella's hands were in the zone. You watch her swing here. Here comes the knob of the bat with her hands. She's trying to say she's in the strike zone, but that's also kind of her swing mechanic. We saw that earlier in the game when she swings. She is a very knob-driven hitter that leads the knob to the ball and then throws the barrel through later. And again, because it's after the 6th inning, it's up to the chief umpire. If they call for video review, it's at his discretion or her discretion, depending on who the umpire is. And they're willing to review this one.
Yeah, Karen Weekly does have a law degree, and I think she convinced the judges there to go take a look.
She's definitely the prosecutor today, not the defender.
So back to the booth, looking at another review, seeing if McLaren was out over the strike zone there. And regardless of the outcome, this makes it a really stop and go 7th inning for Stetson, and tough for the offense to get anything going.
And that ball appears to be inside the batter's box. I don't know that the lawyer's going to win this one. You see her wrist did not break. The barrel didn't come through.
Yeah, I'm with you, partner. It looks like this should stand as a hit by pitch. But we'll see. All right, so McLaren is awarded first base. And the tying run once again aboard with 2 down for Stetson in the 7th.
We've seen a lot of hitters get hit this weekend throughout the Tennessee Classic, and that's something for young hitters to really take note of. Whatever it takes to get on base, it doesn't have to be glorious. It doesn't have to be a home run every time. A walk, a hit, a quality at bat, whatever you can do to help the team win. I love when hitters are willing to stand in there and wear a pitch for their team.
Jayla Haynes takes over at first as the pinch runner, representing the tying run of the 7th. And that has been touch and go for the Hatters. A couple of reviews sprinkled in. Still down to their final out as the crowd begins to rise to its feet. Gia Napoli digging in to face Pickens. Break-even offer from Pickens. Outside, 2-1. Megan Rhodes-Smith out to talk things over with her sophomore Carlin Pickens, 4th season as part of Karen Bluethley's staff. All-American in Knoxville, top 10 in virtually every pitching category when she pitched here back in the late 2000s.
All-American and a mom. Shout out to the moms that are coaches that are moms. It's not an easy task.
A couple of full-time jobs there.
You're seeing the runner at first, making sure she's on time. She's not taking a big lead. They know they have a left-handed catcher. That's an easy pick for them.
Three and one.
That last huddle was probably just her coming out and saying, hey, what's working good? What are you seeing? Has the umpire strike zone changed at all from your perspective? What do you want to throw to get this batter out?
3 balls and a strike as Pickens fires and runs it full. Hatters down to their final strike. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 looking. And Carlin Pickens closes the door. Tennessee wins 3-2.
That'll do.
Well, a wackier top of the 7th than we anticipated.